One of the beautiful things about the conversation that we're having is that you can expect fanboys to try to gaslight you. And one thing you can understand that you can appreciate about this is you can expect me to always ensure that we educate people with this level of dishonesty. So again, here we go with the imagine being so hurt by a console claim. You see, this particular claim addresses nothing about the video. This is Digital Foundry's video with Alan Wake 2. They did the comparison. The game is patched, PS4, I think it's PS5 Pro enhanced. They did the comparisons. They looked at frame rates and such, but there are people who still will never look at the evidence and the data and be able to interpolate and say, okay, which of these devices is actually more powerful? That's just the idea. Some of the PlayStation 5 fans, the PlayStation 5 Pro fans, they somehow, are saying that if these games get patched, they're going to perform better than the 47. And the idea is that, look, if you can actually go ahead and say, let me first compare these two devices by scaling down resolution, then already the device that needs its resolution scaled down is already by default the more powerful device because its own capabilities are running at default at a higher resolution, while the PS5 Pro requires a resolution lower to be even able to go and give you better performance. When Digital Foundry said that they used a forced mod to lower the resolution for Alan Wake 2 to start the comparison video, that was already the end of the conversation. Does that make sense? Because even, say, a high-end GPU, even though it's an AMD, would have to power through and still run the game with a higher resolution. So this comment says, imagine being so hurt by a console, you go with a fake narrative, ignoring that 90% of games look crisp and clean, and the only issues are with trash optimized games or NVIDIA sponsored ones because devs are lazy, the cope is real. Oh, so now devs are lazy. Remember when I was telling you guys on Gotham Knights that, hey, every game is different, but some people on console did not listen. They said he ought to run at 60 FPS. So now you're learning that, hey, man, more powerful devices can get the job done. But that's even beside the point. What's even funny is this is also, again, another conversation that links with what we were talking about yesterday. Do y'all remember that video yesterday that I actually showed y'all that I put out? If you haven't seen it, maybe go watch it, or maybe I'll give you a little short synopsis here, where somebody came on the channel, two people actually, I showed you two comments, where they were claiming that the narrative about the whole comparison of the PS5 Pro and the 4070 was falsified by PC players. Again, this is just another version of it, that it's a fake narrative. So in this video, this one that's actually playing in front of you, I had to actually go back and create a timeline and put links to say that this particular, set of claims were made by, number one, Digital Foundry. They made the claim, like they have literally a link to a YouTube video sitting on the PlayStation 5 subreddit of Digital Foundry making this claim, and people ran with this stuff. Look at the upvotes and look at the comments underneath this post when Richard Ledbetter said it. So how am I creating a narrative that basically the PlayStation fan base ran with? Look on the bottom right corner right here. They have it even clipped here. They were the ones that were believing the hype. Everybody was actually trying to communicate to these PlayStation players, don't believe the hype. Just buy a PS5 Pro if you want to buy a PS5 Pro. Then you had some others that came on YouTube that started claiming that it could run, better than a 4090 or as good as a 4090. And we laughed at those and said, well, okay, this is a joke. So now that we have a game that's been properly tested, we've seen another game that's tested, challenging games nonetheless, but run well on PC, depending on, who's playing, depending on what setup you have. It has become a whole thing where people are saying that the narrative is fake or falsified. Dude, nobody has to justify your purchase of the PlayStation 5 Pro. You are soft in that you don't even know how hardware works, that any hardware piece you buy will get heavily scrutinized. Even those who bought the 4090, they had to actually go and listen that the value proposition of a 4090 is not there for most gamers. In fact, I own one, but it's for my business to do videos. I would never recommend it for anybody to buy at that price point, regardless. In fact, I will tell you that it's going to cost you way more, because now you buy a 4090 and now you got to buy a 4K display. That's going to just inherently cost you way more. You got to buy yourself a $400 or $500 CPU. It is not a value proposition that I think a gamer should go for. And NVIDIA got the dragging for it. So for you to come out here and claim that this is a false narrative because you don't understand criticism, to me shows a huge lack of introspection from a lot of these hyper console fans. It's dirty and terrible to see the way they will come out here and try to basically lie in the faces of everyone. And to be very honest, I'm at the point where I will continue to make these videos because to me, I strongly believe that a lot of these PlayStation fanboys, we have to actually comb through as many of them as we possibly can because many of them are quite unhinged. It's weird. Dude, there are links and there are videos and there are comments and there are articles that basically, even some games journalists actually. Did you know that? I just put 2 links here, but there were even some games journalists that even went down far enough to say this. The Turk did a video where he even called the names of these content creators. He showed his Twitter interactions with them and said, don't worry, I'll put you in my videos when I'm done making these comparisons. Why? Because hardware always faces scrutiny. You're not special. Your PlayStation 5 Pro that you bought is not special. Everything faces scrutiny. Don't worry about it. Like you paid what, $700 and now everybody's got to leave you alone? Calm down, bro. People pay thousands of dollars for much more expensive devices and they basically, sat there and made informed decisions based on, number one, their budget, and number two, the fact that those particular, items were criticized and were giving a fair look in the market. This is what the PS5 Pro is getting. Sorry, I'm not even going to apologize to you. I mean, if you can't even sit down and process that this is what's going on, then perhaps maybe a little bit of maturity needs to be called into question as to if you have any of it or not. This is childish behavior, guys. This is what children do when they want to avoid accountability. And I'm seeing grown adults actually exhibit this nonsense. If you don't like it, shut the videos off. I mean, block the channel, do something, and give yourself some peace of mind rather than come here and start commenting all childishly about what's going on. No one cares. No one cares at the end of the day. However, there's the responsibility of those who are talking about hardware to basically inform the consumer. And there are some people who, would like to get a perspective from different places. It's okay. I mean, this has been a reality for the longest time. How does anybody think that a dedicated CPU and dedicated GPU, was going to lose to an APU device made by AMD? AMD of all people. And as a full-blown AMD, aficionado, I'll be the first to have told you that, hey, man, you're bucking up to an NVIDIA device. There's a reason NVIDIA is $1 trillion company. You need to basically be sensible a little bit and back away from that. These folk. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks once again for watching the video. Appreciate y'all so much. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.